It does. I feel like, sorry for the voice, guys, but I feel like it's kind of once your kid starts to feel better, it's like you start to like go downhill. I would much rather us be sick at the same time, though, because she's less active. You know what I mean? And then you can be resting, but now she's like bouncing off the wall. She's like all excited to be normal again. And now I'm like, please stop.
Well, we sure appreciate you toughing it out. I usually like to rely on you for most of the talking on these shows because you're the person that knows what they're talking about, not to self-deprecate. James laying down an idea, the cash fund. So now we need to fund Kachine Alexander's recovery. Can we do that? I'll add that to the goal. But hey, Cash, at least this is going to be a pretty easy post game. I mean,
it was a good game. I mean, for us. I can't speak for everybody else.
Yeah. Well, there's some pretty diehard Bulldog fans out there, but you know, this has been a rivalry, a series that you talked about it on Sunday, Cash. That typically, I mean, Drake shows up. Now they're harder to play in the Knapp Center in Des Moines. Iowa's taking care of business in Carver, but usually you don't win by 42.
No, that's a lot.
Yeah, I know Drake's in a bit of a rebuild, but as I mentioned, they were picked top 4 in the Missouri Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that pans out. But on paper, and I think the eye test agrees with the paper test, Cash, 100-58 against your in-state rival Drake Bulldogs sounds pretty good. Talk about what went right tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm a little surprised of the margin of victory. Usually those games are a little bit tighter, even if you are 20, 30 points, but that's a huge margin. But I think the women are playing very good team basketball right now. Everybody's getting involved. The ball is moving very well in that aspect. I do think, like I said before, Chit Chat, I feel like has a lot to do with that. She's a pass first point guard, which is something we haven't had in a long time. And I think that for this specific team, that is what they need in regards to that. And so I think that her distributing the basketball and everybody else kind of feeding around that has helped us a lot. I thought Journey had some fantastic minutes today in regards to just her hustle in general. It's crazy. And she just doesn't play outside of herself. She just does what she's good at. And that's that, which I love, especially for a freshman in that case. I was surprised that Addie didn't get more minutes today. I felt like based off of her game last game, I thought that, like Coach Jay would ride that a little bit, but she didn't. So I was kind of shocked.
What do you read there? How do you read between the lines on that one? Maybe just had a couple of bad days.
The only thing I can go back to is practice. I mean, that's it. That's all I can go back to. Like I said, I was a little surprised by that. But at the same point in time, it's a blowout win at the end of the day. So, but I think overall, I thought we played really well. I do not like Ava getting in foul trouble. She's got to stop. She has to stop. Like, that's not worth it. Over the back calls, not worth it. It's not worth it. And we can't afford that. Now, don't get me wrong. We have a great backup in Layla Hayes, but I would much rather Ava be out there longer. So I need her to be smart. But she was kind of like that last year too. So I'm hoping that maybe the coaches can talk to her a little bit more and just letting her know her importance on the court. And sometimes it's best to give up something in order to stay on the court if you're in that situation. So overall, I thought it was a great win.
So we're going to get to your calls, folks, and maybe we start a little earlier tonight so that we can get to everybody's calls. We got the numbers across the bottom of the screen for everybody. This was a very balanced scoring effort, Kachine, between Chastity Chit-Chat Wright, who put up she put up 14 points and won our Player of the Game award, our RTI Threads Player of the Game. 14 points, 4 threes, 9 attempts. I like 9 attempts. Now, maybe there's going to be days where she's shooting too much, but for somebody who's passed first but has got range, I don't mind this. 4 steals, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and it felt like more than 3 assists because her 3 assists were flashy assists, Kachine. And I know they don't always have to be flashy, but just 1 turnover. So she's not forcing it. She's an excellent passer with excellent vision, with good range, good 3-point shot. She's our RTI Threads Player of the Game. And she's been solid these first 3 games plus the exhibition. You've talked about her addition, but just her composure out there is the point, and filling some big shoes. I mean, you talk about coming in, fresh off a 4-year tenure from the greatest player of all time in college basketball, Caitlin Clark, and then a 1-year tenure of someone who was the 3rd leading scorer in the country at Villanova prior to her time at Iowa, and Lucy Olson. Young player, and she has not missed a beat so far with the competition that she's faced. Again, 14 points, 4 of 9 from 3, 4 steals, 3 assists, 1 turnover. And Big Grove's big play of the day was Taylor McCabe's no-look pass to Kylie Feuerbach early in the 3rd quarter. And right before Kylie made that 3, I made the comment to a buddy that I was watching the game with. I said, we got to get more out of Kylie Feuerbach. Everyone's talking about her defense, and I say that not like, well, they're going to lose this game. Obviously not. That's not the point. But if she's going to deserve starting minutes, and right now she's a starter, she's a senior, everyone's talking about her defense, she's got to give them more offensively. So it's good to see her hit that 3, put Iowa up by 30 early in the 3rd quarter. But that's Big Grove's big play of the day, the no-look pass to McCabe 3-pointer from Feuerbach. I thought Taylor played well also, Kachine. What do you make of Iowa's guard play right now?
I mean, I think I said beforehand, I think I feel like it's the deepest guard play we've had, especially under the Jensen era. And so I feel like there's going to be some tough decisions down the road, which is good ones to be in, I will say. But I do think that our guard play is deeper as far as ability to score in that aspect. So, which is, like I said, a great problem to have, but a problem nonetheless.
Taylor McCabe with 6 points tonight, I believe, her final stat line. I don't have her stat line up here, but I believe it was 6 points, 2 threes made. But I like her quick trigger, and her release is really quick. I mean, isn't it, Kachine? There
was that one I was like, whoa. I can't remember. It was out of a zone. I think Layla had skipped past it or whatever, and I was like, I wasn't expecting her to shoot it, but she's got a quick one.
She does have a quick trigger, and obviously has the green light, which you want for your best shooter on the court, and she's going to be the threat of her on the court, as we've talked about, will be so important on the stretch of this season. So, again, big girls, big play of the day. Her assist to Kylie Bierbach early in that third quarter. Before we get to our first caller of the night, a big thank you to RTI Threads. They're sponsoring our programming this evening. Shop RTI Threads and get your gear before these players graduate and move on to the big leagues. Aaron Graves, Zach Lutmer, Jacob Gill, Carson Shire. Their futures are all bright, whether we're talking college or NFL. RTIthreads.com/NIL. Get your apparel today, and we've got a special announcement coming about getting RTI Threads gear and the gear of some of these guys in person. So we'll keep it at that for now. But again, shop RTI Threads at RTIthreads.com/NIL. Hawkeye football player apparel. All right, let's go to our first caller of the day. We've got James here. James, bright and early. Thank you for being here.
Good. First off, the UNI kind of scouting report. They lost like everybody from last year. So they're really their top two are guards and Taryn Roden and Riley Goebel. But like the rest of the team really didn't play last year except for Lisa Yeager. So they haven't really played they played like three from last year, but like the rest of the girls either didn't play a lot of minutes last year or are freshmen or new, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they bring in Jenna Tweet, who's a transfer from Kirkwood. She starts too. She's a Kirkwood transfer. She's like one of the top JUCO transfers in the state, but they didn't really bring in a lot that played last year. So I don't think it's going to be any different than what this game was. I actually think Drake's a better team on paper than UNI's. And on paper,
let's ask
doesn't mean anything.
Obviously, Iowa has to go to the McLeod Center. Kachine, Iowa won by 42. We can speculate to death. But what would the difference have been if Iowa had played this game in the Knapp Center?
It wouldn't have been 40-something, I can tell you that. We might have been 20-something, but definitely not 40.
Okay, so that you think there is a 20-some point difference potentially?
Guaranteed. And I only say that because first of all, the Knapp Center is hard to play in. That's just what it is. Gym, the fans are literally on top of you. Like, there's a lot going on there. Mixed with the fact that we're a newer team, a younger team that could get rattled easily. I could see that happening. With that being said, I do think that is a possibility, or could have been a possibility.
So, James, my point in bringing that up is I don't know a ton about UNI other than what you just told me, and I know they don't have Buffelli anymore, just like Drake didn't have Denevere, but am I saying it right? Denevere?
Yeah, Denevere,
yeah. But it's in McLeod Center, and those are tough gyms to play in. And I just saw Iowa State go up there and lose last year, and they didn't have Buffelli in that game. So they should have Iowa's full attention. They'll have Jan Jensen's full attention. Hey, Jan, we keep hearing about how Jan and Lisa were Drake people. Well, sure. That means they know, not because they're necessarily Iowa people. They've coached against the University of Northern Iowa for years. But also they had to play against Northern Iowa for years when they were at Drake. So these programs all have mutual respect for one another. I will say this. I was perusing after that Evansville thrashing the other night, Kachine. I was trying to find the Missouri Valley Conference preseason poll, and it doesn't sound like the Missouri Valley Conference releases a full preseason poll anymore. They just released their top four. Drake was number 4. Northern Iowa was not ranked or voted on, apparently. At least that wasn't released. But I have no doubt these last two, not Drake tonight, but the previous two Missouri Valley Conference teams, Iowa and Iowa State, both played. Iowa versus Evansville Sunday, Iowa State versus Valpo last night are the two worst teams in that league. Now, maybe Illinois, Chicago, it's a newbie to Missouri Valley. Maybe they'll end up being bad as well. But I tell you, Valpo and Evansville are horrible. And we saw Audie Crooks last night put a 43-piece on Valpo. 43 in 20 minutes played. That will not happen for Iowa. Will not be able to handle UNI this weekend the way that Iowa State handled Valpo yesterday or Iowa handled Evansville on Sunday. The atmosphere, Northern Iowa, I know they may be down, but just too strong of a program. And I would be shocked if they win like they did today, just given the fact that it's on the road.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even really pointing to that. I was just more saying what they brought back. I know they're down. They don't have a lot of girls who played minutes last year who are actually playing. I mean, like playing for them this year that played last year, if that makes sense. Obviously, Elise Yeager, they're big too. She played when Buffelli went down. She played like Buffelli. She started for Buffelli last year and played all those minutes pretty much. I think she was a freshman last year. So they
Yeah.
still bring in decent. They still have okay players, but like you said, it's always tough when you go to UNI. But I'd rather go to UNI than go to the Knapp Center.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's something about it. I'd rather play at UNI than play at the Knapp Center. I feel like.
Kachine tends to agree with you.
100%.
Anything else, James?
Because one reason I say this because I feel like it'd be more UNI. I'd be more Iowa fans are in this area than people realize. So like, even though it's a UNI home game,
There's a lot.
I feel like there's more Iowa.
There's more Iowa fans in Des Moines too, but
yes, but
I mean, go ahead.
Drake people go to more games. Drake people go to more games than UNI do. It seems like UNI people don't really support as much as they should. I feel like, if that makes sense. So like the rest of it fills out with Iowa fans. If that makes sense. Drake supports their team better. Is more my point. So the more people show up that are Drake fans. Where's that Drake?
Well, it will be packed, and I have no doubt that a good half of Northern Iowa at McLeod Center will be Hawkeye fans. And the last time I went to Iowa Drake last year, I would say it was about half. But the student body is what's loud, so that's the other factor. You can have a ton of fans in there. The students show up. So no, that's going to be a challenge. Now, if they go there and lose, I'll be shocked. Right? I'll be shocked. Yeah. But I could see it being a competitive game. I am not shocked because I didn't know enough about Evansville and Drake Kachine, but I am pretty surprised. I would have never imagined that they would have a win margin for the last two games of, what is it, like 110 or something nuts? I don't even know what it is. Can I do math?
I mean, I wasn't surprised about Evansville, but Drake I was.
Yeah, but you didn't expect Iowa to win by 76 or whatever they did against Evansville.
I mean, I knew that they would blow them out. I just didn't. I mean, I don't think anybody goes in being like, "Oh, they're going to win by 70." Like, I don't think anybody actually says it. But I knew they were going to blow them out. I didn't think that Drake would be that kind of blowout.
Yeah, for sure. But it'd be interesting to see, and it was good. Obviously, you get the win, and you get to win by that. You get to play everybody, and it was also good to see. Before I got, it was good to see Kenise play again. I know she's had her up and downs, right? But her to get on the court again was also fun to see as well. I'll talk to you guys later, and go Hawks.
Okay, James, go Hawks. Absolutely, thank you, sir. How about this? Mike's already coming after you, or somebody named Kachina.
I don't know who that is. You got a new co-host?
I'll tell you what, we're gonna have you know how Inside the NBA does that segment, who he play for with Charles Barkley, like all these. We're gonna have a segment that's called Who Dat. Like when people mess up your name or they spell my name wrong, they'd be like, Who Dat?
Who Dat?
Hey, we're not trashing Kylie, but I think
the whole chat is, so I don't have to say a word.
The chat is? Okay, well, I haven't gotten to that yet. How about this, Ryan? Early donation to the Kachine Get Well Fund. Get Well Hawkeye Legend. Thank you, Ryan Lomansky. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Cash Mama Health Fund.
Cash Mama, baby.
Okay. Hey, if that continues, that's because you are feeding into it by doing what you just did. You're feeding into it.
Absolutely.
But, Lomansky, thank you for the super chat. She appreciates that, as do I. Douglas Meyer, Kylie doing about the same as Gabby as far as offense. It isn't like she's shooting a lot and missing. Your thoughts on that comment?
That's an interesting take. Gabby has legitimately won us games, like from shooting the basketball. We used to call her March Madness Gabby, and that was not for no reason. I don't think we've ever had a nickname for Kylie in regards to that. Not saying, however, that we were upset when Gabby wasn't shooting. Nobody is upset if Kylie's shooting or not. I don't think anybody actually we're like, we need more out of you, but we are upset if Gabby was not shooting because she was a great shooter. So we were expecting her to shoot and make shots. I think we are hoping to get something out of Kylie. That's not the same thing as expecting Gabby to make shots. Those are two different things, two different scenarios. Defensively, sure. I mean, I think Gabby is a little better, but at the same point in time, I do think that they're both still great defensive players.
Yeah, I think Gabby was a better defender. And I didn't think Gabby was a great defender. I thought she was a good defender and the best defender they had. I'm not convinced Kyla Feuerbach is the best defender that this team has. I'm not convinced of that. Is she? I think you think she is, Kachine. I don't know that. I mean, it's still pretty early. I tell you, I like Journey
Give
Houston.
me a minute. I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say nothing in regards to that until we get into the middle of the season.
Mitchell Baker says Journey taking Tegan's minutes. Tegan played in the fourth quarter, was available, but very much in line with what Kachine had predicted. So far, it's Journey Houston taking the minutes there. And there were opportunities because you had some players in foul trouble tonight. Kelly, thank you for reminding everybody. Hit that like button, folks. Subscribe and smash the like button. It does help us immensely. So please do that to help out the show in the algorithm. And super chat here from Patrick Wilson. He says, Emily Rodriguez is going to be the Iowa version of Malaysia Fulwiley if Jan keeps bringing her off the bench. Emily also flashed some unexpected defense tonight.
I'm curious what you mean by Malaysia Fulwiley. As in, like, she's going to transfer again? I'm assuming that's what he means, right?
I was a little confused there as I read that.
That's my assumption. My assumption is he's saying that because Malaysia felt like she should be starting and she wasn't. So she left. But Emily would be transferring a second time. So I don't know. I think here's the thing. The difference between Malaysia and Emily is that Emily is going to get more playing time than somebody who may start. So at the end of the day, coaches are going to play who they can trust and who they feel like is going to produce on the court. Doesn't really matter so much about who starts. It's all about who finishes. We say that all the time. So at the end of the day, if she's playing 25 minutes, 20 minutes, and she's getting that time, I don't think she's going to care as much. With Malaysia, sometimes Malaysia didn't play. Like she would play like 8 minutes, 10 minutes at that because Dawn was pissed off at her for whatever reason, etc. Now, the second piece of your question, or not really question, statement about the defense, you can tell that that's been something that has been an emphasis because when she got that stop at the end of the quarter or whatever the case is, she immediately turned to the coaching staff and the coaching staff was like on it as well. Like they were screaming, etc. So you could definitely tell that that was something they have been really harping on her about. And it seems like maybe she might be taking it to heart.
What do you think about her defensively? What do you honestly think of Emily defensively? And then
I think she is what you would call the typical offensive-minded player, where their offense has gotten them so far in life that it's not like they don't care about defense, but it's kind of like, I'm going to outscore you anyways. That's the mindset. Not saying she's not capable. It's just she has to get out of that mindset. Like you actually have to work on the defensive end. You can't just be out here. Because if you score 20 and you give up 40, what I got you out there for?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I was going to say. I'm not impressed with her defensively. So the comment made by Patrick, I saw her get absolutely blown by tonight.
Oh, yeah. She had some great ones, and then she had some other ones. I'm like, girl. But you could tell the ones that she had blown by, she gave up on the play. You could tell.
Right.
It wasn't because she's not capable of stopping them.
It's a
she
mindset.
Just gave up on the play.
Yep. And
so that's something.
There is something to be said. I don't want to group all foreign players together. And I know she's not European or South American, but she is from Puerto Rico. And it does seem like foreign players, non-American players, have a style that's more, a common thread throughout. She plays very slow. Like she's not a fast, quick player. She didn't have a quick twitch, but she's methodical. She doesn't get caught with her feet in bad places. And that is sort of I think, a European trait a little bit. So, and I just am thinking, I don't think she's got great lateral quickness, but she also doesn't necessarily appear to me to have that mindset. but I think she's capable athletically. She's got length, so that's going to be.
She's definitely capable.
Yeah,
definitely capable.
Thank you for the super chat, Patrick. Kelly Emerson, thank you, Kelly. Cash for cash. Wow,
you're hilarious.
That's good stuff right there. Hey, can I ask? Did you like the cash machine as an order post?
That was very clever.
Do you recognize all these these
of
course.
Promos? I don't live under a rock.
Who do you think's behind all those promos? Who's behind all those promos, do you think?
You
think I might keep you guessing on that. Because I got more in the tank, man. I got them all.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't make me joke.
The little ATM emoji, it all fits just perfectly. Patrick adds, he says, Journey Houston, Wally pipped Tegan Mullaney tonight. Backup minutes behind Stolke might not be enough. Kylie's minutes should be in danger from both Emily and Journey. So making it very clear where he stands. Let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hey, am I up?
You're up. Welcome to the show.
All right. This is Brian from Minneapolis.
Hey, Brian. How are you?
Hey.
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
You're calling in from Kachine or Kashina's old neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm so south Minneapolis that Highway 62 in Richfield is right in my backyard.
Nice.
I have two comments, and then I'd like to make one more comment.
Okay.
I think that Taylor McCabe has leveled up, and I just think that she's become more of a complete player than just a shooter. And from what I've seen, I think we might be able to expect more from her this year than we have, and I'm curious about that. And then my other comment is there was a short stretch when they put Hannah at the 5 and Journey at the 4, and Iowa went small, and I really liked that. I thought that looked really interesting and good, and I'd like to, if you saw that too, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Let's address this first, and then let's go to Taylor McCabe, Brian, because that's a good point. Because I had that in my notes. They move, Ava Hayden gets in foul trouble. They move Hannah back to the 5, and just your thoughts on that lineup.
I always love when you're able to have a small ball lineup because you never know when it's going to come in handy. And I think that I'm not going to say I love the fact that Ava got in foul trouble, but if there was a game that she was going to get in foul trouble, I'm happy it was this one because it allowed us to see that lineup. Because again, you might need it at some point in time. And so I like that. And I think I had said that, I don't remember what game right now, but I had said that you also have the ability now with having a backup 4 like a Journey in that sense, where you can move in Hannah to the 5 and you can have a Journey at the 4, or even if you go even smaller, right? You have that option. And I think that's really good. Now, what they will have to do is if they do a Hannah Journey scenario, I don't know what the offense is going to look like, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. We'll be great on the boards.
And what are you seeing out of Taylor McCabe? Because I have in the past made comments about her upping her rebounding tenacity. I do think every year she's gotten just a little bit better in every category, a little bit better defensively, a little bit more aggressive on the glass, a little bit more comfortable with contact. I know it's still early. We haven't seen the physicality of the Big Ten. But to Brian's point, what are you seeing out of Taylor McCabe right now, in addition just her ability to knock down threes?
Yeah, I think I gave her props already in regards to Taylor, and being proud of kind of what she's done. At one point, I had said she couldn't guard her shadow, and I meant that back then. And to see that she is not a defensive liability anymore is a huge, kudos to her in that aspect. I still would like to see her range outside of the 3, a pull-up jumper, but we'll get to that. So, but at the end of the day, I do think that she has definitely improved throughout the years so far. And definitely I don't feel uneasy like I did the last couple of years.
Anything else, Carl?
I really like and support this show and think it's great. and anything I might say would be in respect to wanting to improve. My dude, I heard you on some podcast that I think is a national college football podcast, and you responded to some trolls about being in their mom's basement and eating pizza rolls and stuff. And I get that, and I'm an Iowa fan, and I feel the same way. But I really want you to do well, and I support you, and I think that kind of stuff you just have to ignore. And that's all. And I don't want to be a dick for saying that, but I just that was my thought.
Well, we appreciate your criticism. I'm always up for criticism. Absolutely.
No, you have a great voice, and I feel like you have a great platform, and I really support all the things you do. So good on you, pal. But sometimes you don't. If they go low, you need to go high. That's all.
I feel like I've heard that before. So no, I appreciate it, sir. Appreciate you calling in tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Before we do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm always up for criticism, and not to defend myself, but some of that and what he's referring to is some banter that we have on the show with Mark Rogers, the voice of college football, and some of that's tongue in cheek. So I hope people, if you haven't watched me for a long time, there is some humor, some dry humor in what I say sometimes. So it's all in good. But I do appreciate it. I mean, if you take me too seriously, I can understand kind of being like, oh, he shouldn't have responded to that troll or whatever. And, so, but
you just getting spicy on the internet. I got to go see this.
Like he said, I said something about someone, going getting some pizza rolls from his mother's basement. I didn't know that was that offensive, but hey, like I say, I am totally fine with the criticism. And, the guy that I think I said that to is a regular on that show. So he was coming after me a little bit, but hey, that happens a lot. So, and I do appreciate the caller complimenting the show. So anyways,
I appreciate that. Everybody has their own way of dealing with things. So it's always nice to hear a different perspective.
Matt Bay says, Coach Cash showing some toughness. No. And RD, is this the easiest Iowa's had it against Drake?
I feel like it has. I don't know, but I feel like it.
VMS says my internet is junk. Are we having issues with my stream, Kachine?
Your internet sucks, but it's okay.
Are you seriously right now? Are you joking?
I'm dead serious.
Well, I have no way of knowing that on my end. So unless someone tells me,
it's all right. We're all right.
No, it's not all right because I've been having issues for the last month.
Oh, well then you need to call up. I don't know what y'all got over there. Comcast, what y'all got over there? Xfinity? What is it?
I'm not gonna even say it because.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it again because I'm so sick of the issues we've had. But tell you what. All right, let's go to. I'll try to switch internet feeds, but I can't do this until we get somebody else in the StreamYard. So I can switch off to another feed since we're having issues on that side. But I am here, so. Thank you for hanging tight, and thank you for making me aware of that issue. Hey, not more. Honestly, there's not much more I can do than continuing to call this company and say, hey, you've still not resolved the issue. Come fix the issue. So otherwise, that's all I can do. VMS says sick and a blizzard to deal with in 1 week. You have a blizzard?
Well, I mean, it's North Carolina. Let's be honest. They think anything is a blizzard of some sort. So we went from Sunday, we were at 76 degrees to 40 the next day. And then we had snow that day. And then the next day we went a little bit higher. We went to like 50s. And then we sprung right back up to 75. It's like, no wonder everybody's sick. Like, we don't even know how to dress. So anyways, it's nor here nor there at this point.
Rachel says, why doesn't Strimlo get more playing time? She only played 8 minutes tonight, scored 10 points in that time frame.
You guys are going to feel like that all season long about somebody. Because there's just so many people. So many, like, capable people that can play any given night. So.
All right, we're going to go to, this is the first time we've done this. This is the first time. We have our own From the Hawkeye of the Storm correspondent live at Carver-Hawkeye Arena. This isn't a third party. This is from the Hawkeye of the Storm's own Isaac Nichols, fresh off the Jan Jensen press conference. Isaac, looks like Carver internet's a little fuzzy as well, but you're here. You're here in the flesh. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we'll hopefully get that figured out because it shouldn't be bad. Yeah, of course. The post-game press conference with Jan was really good. A lot of comments about energy from both coaches. Just playing with good energy is how Jan felt. And there's a couple of questions to both coaches about Taylor and Peyton. I don't know how much you guys have dug into that. Playing against each other and guarding each other. So that was a cool storyline from everyone.
Yeah, so I mean, Dre, one of the comments, I know you were there in press row, but my call and Lisa Bluter had the call on Big Ten Network, and my call's a vet. Lisa Bluter's a coaching vet, new to the TV scene. But one of the things that was brought up during the broadcast is how big of a fan of Drake Jen Jensen is when she's not playing. Drake. Did you sense a little bit of that during her, post-game conversation? How much admiration she has for the program?
Yeah, for sure. She said she made a couple of comments about that, about how it's bittersweet to play Drake and beat them, and then both coaches made specific comments about how they'll be cheering for the other team for the rest of the year, and I thought that was a really cool Iowa moment, state of Iowa moment, and a couple of really cool comments, like super respectful of each other too, especially in a 42-point win.
Anything about minutes? Was there anything about minutes asked tonight? Because we've already had a couple of comments. One was from somebody asking why Taylor Strimlo doesn't play more or isn't playing more. Tegan Mulaney didn't get in until the fourth quarter, which I don't think Kachine and I surprised us, but to some other people, when she's finally available off injury, and some people were surprised by that.
No, not a ton. Looking towards the younger side of the team, I think there's a lot of excitement, less, especially in that room, less grievances about playing time or anything like that. We actually got, and I got footage of it, Chit Chat and Taylor Strimlo, and the one comment that Jan made about like improvements wise was Chit Chat living up to her name, to her nickname, which I thought was pretty funny. She's like, making Chit Chat more vocal is going to be a specific area of focus this season and into the future.
What was your here's an off the wall question? What was your first time covering an Iowa event like this like? And while you're answering that question, feel free to be a little bit more long-winded, because I'm going to switch internet feeds and see if I can correct this issue. So you tell Kachine what it was like being in Carver, because Kachine here knows what it's like to be in Carver.
Yeah, I've been in Carver plenty of times, but it's a little bit different to sit there and not have a reaction to anything, to not be able to cheer, to not be wearing Iowa stuff. It's a little bit surreal of like, oh, this is like me being productive almost is quite a bit different. But the crowd, I've been to a lot more men's games than women's games, and the crowd for tonight and for a game even like Drake was incredible. Just the fans showing up like a couple of empty seats didn't stop them from being the loudest I think I've ever heard Carver be.
That's amazing, for someone that has been to a lot of men's games, but hey, knock on wood. I'm trying to think, Kachine, anything specifically from you that you want to ask from the press conference? I couldn't really think. I wanted to ask about.
Did anybody talk about like next? Looking forward to who they play next, et cetera. Did they talk about that at all, or Coach Jay or anybody ask those kind of questions?
Yeah, somebody asked about playing UNI next, and she said, Jen specifically said that she'll text whoever asked that question. She'll text him back at about 1 a.m. tonight. So she said that her process is much more of focus on what's next and not focus on what's after that. And I think that that's pretty typical of Iowa coaches in general, is week by week, game by game. But yeah, she said she hasn't dug into UNI even a little bit at this point.
Yeah.
She lying.
What?
She lying. Ain't no way. Let me tell you something.
Somebody on the staff has, right?
So has she. And you're at least, as a head coach, to this game, you're at least 2 games out. You're not going crazy. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're not like diving deep into it. But she's watched you and I game. She's not just tomorrow all of a sudden now you're watching you and I for the first time. Like, that's not happening. You're 2 to 3 games out of at least seeing what's coming up. So anyway, I love how coaches say that. It cracks me up every time I hear it say it. I'll be like, oh, now y'all know y'all lying. You have no privilege of just being game by game. Like you as a head coach, you don't have that privilege. Sorry. You have to prepare your team 2-3 games ahead of time. What's coming up? What are we looking at? What can we work on in these blowout wins that we may need to work on later? Like, anywho.
Yeah.
That's like, what is that? Media
coach speak.
Whatever you want to. Yeah. That's what that is.
One of the interesting things from, I think, tonight's game specifically was I was sitting right next to a Drake media member and we were talking a little bit, and he made mention, and Kachine, you said in your Southern post game that Iowa's played Drake really, really close. And so I went back and I dug into some of the previous scores in the last couple of years, and they've been really close. And
it stressed me out.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting that tonight, even post Caitlin Clark, even post all the momentum that this program has to get a 42-point win, maybe isn't a statement yet, but it's a good direction to be in for sure.
Absolutely. That's a great win for them in general, just because, like, usually Drake, like I said, is always tough. And they were able to, as a young team, still come out with such a commanding victory. I get it. New team, all that stuff. But usually that does not matter when you're playing in-state rivals. It can always get messy. And the fact that they were able to win so convincingly is a great sign.
Well, Isaac, we appreciate your hard work. For people that don't know, Isaac has been interning, doing helping the social media platform, and now even some on-site social media / coverage there. And we're going to call you a videographer and a media liaison, and you're just going to have all these different titles. So
yeah, don't call me a videographer yet. I haven't sent you the footage I got of the players.
We'll work on that. But, yeah, and folks, for people that don't know, Isaac won't be back tomorrow, but Carver is going to be packed in tomorrow night. Big game against, I don't know how packed it will be, but it's a big game against Xavier, so we'll plug that here in a little bit. Isaac, travel safely back home. Appreciate your hard work tonight and beating the rust off or whatever the first day jitters were like covering Iowa women's basketball. So appreciate you being there.
Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Isaac Nichols from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Appreciate him and his coverage. These comments that I see that are coming through, man, I tell you what, it's amazing. Can I ask you about Addie Deal? We're going to ask this question every single night because, and by the way, Scott, no, Emily Rodriguez is not quick. Just because she's athletic does not mean she's quick. Chit Chat Right is quick. Emily Rodriguez is not quick. And Kachine, you are a quick point guard. Can you answer Scott Steele here?
Yeah, so sometimes this could be hard to decipher. So, Scott, I get it, right? Because you see her getting to the basket, you see her doing all that. Emily uses her angles and her strength very well. The lower player always wins. So with her, she gets lower quicker and she beats that inside hip. And then she just uses her strength the rest of the way. She isn't blowing past people. That's the difference, right? Like she isn't leaving her player in the dust. She has to make moves in order to get to the basket. A spin move, a step through. She has to do something of that nature to get to the rim. Quick means you going untouched because you blew right past whoever was guarding you. Those are the difference between the two. I hope that makes sense.
David Price says Kylie never gives up on the play. Very true. Yeah, very hard effort player.
Agreed.
Timothy McMahon, can Cash talk on how coaches can allow minutes good to the players playing well each game, especially later in the game? Go to benefit of depth is that you can be flexible on who gets the minutes. Do you want to piecemeal and answer that, Cash?
Yeah, I think that number one, Tim, that's a great question. But I do think that it is a gift and a curse all at the same time. And I say that because you're always going to, in the back of your mind, especially in a loss, you're always going to think, damn, should I have played whoever? Should I have played so-and-so more? Because you have so many talented players. So that's going to drive a coach crazy just to start. But I do think it does if you use it to your advantage. I do think that certain games are going to cause for certain people to play ahead of others, whether that's matchups, maybe that's shooting ability, maybe there's a team who's sagging in the paint, they play a gap defense and you need more shooters to pull them out. Like having that ability is good, but it also can cause you a lot of stress at 1:00 in the morning after a loss.
This is something, so there's often times where I'm wrong. I will admit that. Plenty of times where I'm wrong. But last post game, Kachine, we named Layla Hayes the player of the game. However, we had talked about how early on it looked like, man, Ava's the best player on this team. And I still think there's a chance she is. I think it's going to be a competition between her and Hannah for who's the best player on this team. Not that it really matters. It's great to have two big and good posts. But do you remember the one thing that I said, besides her jump shot, the one thing I said, I'm a little bit concerned about this with Ava Hayden? Do you remember what that was? No, because Kachine doesn't listen to me. No, what I said on Sunday was she has a bit. I think she's going to get into foul trouble. And actually, what I
said fouls. You looked at me like I was crazy.
Well, you didn't say anything. I didn't hear you say nothing.
No, I said fouls. That's why I was like, well, maybe you didn't. I thought you said fouls. Okay, never mind.
All right. Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, my bad. I didn't expect her to get 2 fouls 95 feet from the basket. But I mentioned against Evansville, even she gets away. Well, she was getting away with poor verticality, and I'm telling you, that's going to bite them in the butt.
Agreed.
And so that's something they got to shore up. And even Lisa Bluter mentioned that tonight on the broadcast. How did you think Lisa Bluter did with her first official game as a broadcaster?
I thought she started out horribly. I mean, nicely. I did. I could hear, because I know her, I could hear her nervousness at the beginning. Right? Like I could hear it.
Oh, yes.
She was repeating herself and like things like that. And I was like, oh, Jesus, I need you to like settle in, Blue. Settle in.
You're going to get ripped.
But then she settled in and she became like she was just, coaching, if that makes sense. And it started to feel more natural to her. But at the beginning, I was like, oh, Jesus.
You're going to get ripped after tonight.
I thought she did great. Don't get me wrong. I thought she did great towards the end. The beginning, I was like, okay.
You ain't got nothing to apologize for. You're just being honest.
Listen, at the end of the day, that's her first time doing that. That's not easy for anybody to do.
No.
Period. Okay. Yep. There's dead air. There's so much going on. They did pair her with a great person. I will say that. So that was great because he's great. But I thought at the beginning, like I said, she was nervous. She didn't kind of know where to fit in, where she should interject, what she said, that kind of thing. But towards the end, I could feel her relaxing. I could feel her starting to get comfortable. I could feel her starting to, kind of put her own little spin on it. So I was like, okay. So next time she's going to be even better. She's going to be a little bit more calmer. She's going to understand. Because if I know Bluter, she's going to go back and watch film of this here thing and figure out where she can, how she can better have knowledge in this and that and whatever. But I think her little tidbits that she put in throughout the game was very good.
Yeah.
I just want her to be like calm and like, just be you. Like you talking to, your players or something.
Well, the very first shot of her in my call, I could tell she was extremely nervous.
100%.
So, anyways, to our caller, we just lost our caller on StreamYard. We were just about to go to you, so feel free to.
He ain't like what I said about Coach Bluter, apparently.
Probably not.
I'm just kidding. She's my coach.
Cody says that Cyhawk C Money, the other Corey, lives in his mom's basement also. See, we can say that and still be friends, right, Cody?
Evan, that's another thing. I'm sorry. Evan Echoes, is that right? That's a great comment he put about Lisa Bluter. Yes, that's exactly.
Evan Echoes.
Oh. Like she kept saying because she's not used to doing this.
Sure.
And it's like, there's no we. Like you're completely separate here. Like when you go talk about another team, et cetera, I just feel like, again, she just needs to be comfortable. It's her first time doing it. Like, duh. She's not going to be like, of course. But like I said, I thought she had good tidbits. I thought she settled in, within the announcement, I guess.
Is my internet any better in the last 20 minutes?
Absolutely. You look clear as day.
All right. So
as soon as you switched over, you was great.
Just to respond to this, Jake, yes, Cash is HD. The other two, yes. And Ander MC, why does Corey always have terrible internet? Have you watched the show for more than a month? We have had issues for the last month. I explained this. Issues for the last month. Yes, I know it's an issue. No, I can't go out and get a bucket truck and fix the problem right now or dig up the ground or wherever the issue is. I've had a technician on site 4 or 5 different times in the last 3 weeks. So if you've watched the show, you know that that's not true. Corey doesn't always have terrible internet. Over the last 3 weeks, it's been pretty terrible, and there's nobody as frustrated as I am. So please, Kachine's the one who matters anyways on these shows. So I promise we're going to keep working at it. And if we have to completely just overhaul and switch to a different company, we will do that. But this is not reflective of the internet that we are paying for. Okay.
Accordingly to some, I'm just the biggest hater of all haters, which I think is so funny.
Are you getting ripped?
What else? It's by the same person.
You're getting
the biggest hater ever, and I think it's hilarious, personally speaking. What?
Kyle Hawk says Kachine will Ava flirt with foul trouble all year.
You want the truth, Kyle? Or would you like me to make you feel good? Which one?
So she's going to flirt with it all year.
All year.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Let's go back to our phone line. But before we take our next call, big thank you, of course, to Big Grove Brewery. Of course, they are the official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. If you've not checked out any of their great locations, they are available across the great state of Iowa. And again, whether you're at the game, whether you're watching from home, they've got you covered with their Easy Eddie, their neighborhood beer, their Citrus Surfer, Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, Solon, now Omaha with locations between cold beer, an award-winning game day menu, and warm hospitality. Every day is a welcome day at Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters and official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Again, biggrove.com to check out all the great locations here in the state of Iowa. Let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Lomansky, Corey, don't you recognize my number? You used to.
Okay. I'm not trying to creep people out. I do have that weird thing about numbers. I can usually recognize phone numbers, but yes, I knew it was you, Lomansky. I promise.
Hey, please tolerate me tonight because I want to go. I want to for internet, Corey.
You're gonna what? My internet? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Is your phone line pretty good? Because I want to talk to you about internet.
I hope my phone line's okay, but I think my internet might be a little bit shaky. Okay.
Okay. Well, I've got the expert comment on the internet. I have no problems with your internet. Your internet has always been satisfactory to me. Now, here's the thing. I don't think it's your internet at all. The fact of the matter, Corey, is that Kachine is further than you are.
Say that one more time, Lemansky.
It's not your internet. Cash Mama is just already at a higher level than you are.
Well, that goes without saying. Now, the internet does. Okay. The internet is horrible. that's a fact.
You listen to me. Like you didn't listen to Kachine earlier when she said, "You're not listening to me. It's a ready issue. Put some makeup on. You know, you're big time now. Put a 3-piece suit on."
Yeah, if I'm big time or not, but if I come with a 3-piece suit, people will tell me that I'm overdressed. So we'll see. Hey, the good news is these internet issues came at the perfect time, Lemansky, because we got women's basketball, men's basketball, and football overlapping. So thank you to this wonderful internet provider that is having this issue. Thank you.
That's crazy.
You're pretty charming when you're frustrated, I think. I think that's when your charm shows up, when you're totally frustrated.
Joseph says it's because I live in Ames. That's possible as well. So
that's definitely.
There's another fact.
Very true.
You know, Kachine hates Ames, so I'm surprised she comes on your show when you live in Ames. She hates Ames.
That should tell you how much I actually like Corey. Let's be honest.
By the way, somebody in the chat called out the internet provider, but I'm not going to call them out on the public platform.
I mean, they're on the court, aren't they now? Like, that's crazy.
Again,
that's
no comment.
Isn't it that the court's name now or something? Like,
it's
we
been
need to
the
get
court,
rid of that. Name it the Lisa Booty Court or something. That gotta go. It's giving us bad luck.
Corey, you need to know from me that I bounce around with different Iowa podcasts, and you've got compliments from the Washed Up Walk-Ons podcast that you work with. That's why I mentioned their name. You've got compliments from them. I dart around at Nebraska podcasts and Iowa podcasts, and you're better than any of them. So just when you get out high in the mountain, people take shots at you. Cash knows that.
That I do.
Well, I can vow this, folks, that if this internet issue isn't resolved in the next week, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. So I'll say that. But Lemansky, enough with the internet. What did you think of the game tonight, Lemansky?
Yeah, thanks for steering me and keeping me on track. I'm kind of an average caller, really. But I really thought it was interesting when she sat the two bigs, and Cash has referred to that different lineup. And she kind of left that go for a while, so you got to see how Iowa plays with the smaller lineup. If you look at the first two games of minutes, Journey is number 10 in minutes. And when I watched the game tonight, and I like your reaction both to this statement, I think Journey will continue to get more minutes. And there's something about Journey and Emily on the floor at the same time with their motors that I really like. What do you think of that statement from an amateur that I am?
I think it's a great statement. Journey, like you said, is going to play herself into more minutes. You can't keep a play like that off the court. Her energy, her hustle, her defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding. She's unselfish. She just has it. You have to pay attention to her on the floor. Like, it's kind of weird because she's not like she's overly scoring. She's doing everything else, however. Kind of like Taylor Stremno last year. You know, she was just kind of filling up the stat sheet in every way possible. She may not have been scoring a lot, but she was filling up the stat sheet in every way possible. And I like to call it the small ball lineup. But I think that we're definitely going to have to go to it at some point throughout the season, multiple times. But I do like it. I will say that based off of, what Journey has shown us thus far. And if Tegan can come in and hit some timely threes, then that makes it even a stronger lineup for us at some point. If we need to go small ball. So I like it.
Corey, do you got any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I agree with Kachine, and I think, I see Strimlo being mentioned a bunch of times in the chat. She's going to be an interesting one to follow because I think her ability to be a general, even though she's not maybe a natural point guard, especially if Chit Chat ever gets in foul trouble, because I don't know who else would run the show right now. Like Kachine brought up Addie Deal not getting playing time tonight. I mean, she got some, but most of it was late in the fourth quarter. If you don't have Chit Chat right on the court, they're gonna need a floor general, at least somebody who can bring the ball up the court, get everybody where they need to be, and that might be Taylor Strimlo. What was your original question, Lemansky?
Just small ball.
Small ball lineup. I think they're too good at the 5. I think Ava Heighton just too important to this team for me to even really imagine like any scenario in which they're better with her off the court. I guess that's my big thing.
That's a given, but we're gonna have to go to that lineup.
Well, I hope it's not very much. I'll tell you that. Because like Richard says here, I don't know who else is going to shine other than Chit Chat. Kylie isn't giving them much of anything offensively, and she's not gonna. Addie Deal right now does not look like a 5-star player. She probably will. I'm not saying right now she doesn't. And they have nobody else. Kenise Johnson Etienne is not, I'm sorry, I think she dropped the Etienne. Kenise Johnson is not playing. She's fresh off injury. Callie Levine is not playing real minutes. So like they've got some guards on the roster that apparently aren't in a position to play and log minutes. So I just think Chit Chat and Ava, their health might be the 2 players, even though I think Hannah's really important. I think they can deal with Hannah going down with foul trouble better than they can deal with Chit Chat because of the depth there. I think Emily can step in.
Chit Chat, absolutely. No.
Yeah, I think Emily can step in and give them some minutes at the 4. I think Journey Houston can play the 4. If they have to turn to Tegan Mullaney, I'd rather go Tegan Mullaney at the 4 than. Well, I don't know. Yeah, because I don't know who. Like I say, I don't know. Would you rather Tegan Mullaney at the 4 or having to rely on Addie Deal at the 1 right now? I don't know.
Why wouldn't I put Journey at the 4?
No. I'm comparing options, depth pieces.
Oh,
I'm saying they're much deeper. They are much deeper at the 4 than they are.
Because I haven't even seen anybody really run our offense outside of Chit Chat, so I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah, that's my fear. And even though I like Layla Hayes, she's just not. She was gassed in that second half. I don't know if you noticed that, Kachine, but she was struggling a little bit second half. So she's going to have to. That's normal, right? That's a freshman that still has to work on strength and conditioning. But I'm just saying, you don't want her logging extensive minutes this year. This is the perfect time for her to spell Ava Heighton. But that means Heiden's got to stay out of foul trouble and not get 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes of a game.
Correct.
Anything else, Lemansky?
Well, I think Hayes has for a young player, and I appreciate you calling this team a young team. I'm really interested to see how this team plays away from home. We might learn a hell of a lot on the good side of if they're prepared to go on the road, or maybe the turnovers will go up and you'll see somebody shrink. And I think that's where you got to get Hannah the ball and get some of your veterans the ball. But I really like Hayes' footwork for her size. And she's got a Big Ten body, and I think Emily does, and I think Journey does. And it'll be interesting how we match up with in the Big Ten. And I hope the whistles, the Big Ten's pretty rough. So let's hope the whistles are, are swallow a little bit the Big Ten competition, because I think we've got the lineup to weather that better than the last couple of years. But I really feel sorry for Tegan, because, all those players have gotten playing time. Boy, I hope she can fight for minutes, but man, she's starting behind the ball, and I feel sorry for her, because you don't wish bad for any player, and boy, those other people are getting so much playing time. But boy, I tell you what, I'm a Chit Chat fan, and we haven't seen quickness like that in the men or the women in a long time. I just enjoy the hell out of watching her pass and play and shoot. The other thing about her, I don't know if Cash can talk about this, but her quickness in getting to her foundation and getting her feet set and shooting. Lisa Bluter talked about I forgot the other guard's name from Nebraska, but how good her footwork is before she gets the ball. Man, Chit-Chat's ability to release and go. People should study that, young players. It's fantastic. But you do a great job on your podcast. And is Isaac a new player or a new addition to your promoting your podcast?
Isaac's been working behind the scenes on social media for a while. So, but he is, he's going to be helping us out a little bit with some in-person stuff at a few events this year. So, yeah, he's what was I going to say? He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job behind the scenes. He did a nice job tonight, and I've confidence he'll continue to do a good job when he's there at Carver. So, not new, but new to the camera.
Thanks for all you do, and I'm really looking forward to these away games to see just how we can compete. Good night.
Thanks, Lemansky. Have a nice night. Yeah, good stuff across the board. And let's see. I don't see any other calls. So last call on the phone line. We're going to let Cash get some sleep. And there are a couple starred comments that I want to get to. That, yeah, right. All the super chats go to the Cash Get Well Fund tonight.
Mama Cash. That's a little reverse action.
Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
Appreciate you being a premium member and for the super chat. Go Hawks, get better soon, Mama Cash. And let's see here. Cyhawk C Money. Can Journey become Cash 2.0? She's a little bit bigger than Kachine was.
Yep.
Bigger, not quite as quick, but physical guard / forward.
She's got all the intangibles to be, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
So
I
wasn't really doing much my freshman year anyway. So she's got all the intangibles as far as like body, stature, rebounding ability, toughness, etc. Hustle. She's got all the intangibles.
Douglas, thank you for the super chat. UCLA and North Carolina played in Vegas. Had an announced attendance of 1,588. Okay.
They announced that? That's crazy.
Aquavius Clemmer. We need to talk about Journey Houston. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, we did.
Pierre, will Rodriguez take Kylie's spot in the starting lineup?
Maybe not. It doesn't matter.
Kylie's a senior, super senior. Richard says, projection, will a healthy Iowa team win 20 games?
Yes.
Scott Steele, which player is most likely to transfer due to lack of playing time? Tegan Mullane.
Johnson.
You still think you've been saying that for 2 years? I'm saying Tegan Mullane.
I can see that.
I'm going to say Tegan.
Don
KJB, ironically, counterintuitively, Addie Deal might be a much better player in the Big Ten when the competition level goes up and some of the confidence players right now hit a wall of reality versus bigger, stronger. Okay. That's an interesting theory. We'll just have to see if that plays out.
Don.
Frank says, what's the over-under of Corey's Wi-Fi going offline in 15 minutes? So 15 minutes since that comment, but I'm still here. So, man.
Still rocking.
I'm going to have to cultivate some patience over the next 24 hours dealing with it. Every week, Kachine, I'm just going to tell you this, when they send somebody out here, every single week, it's works fine in the first part of the week, or it appears to work okay. And then once we hit Thursday and Friday, right when Iowa football on Saturday, and usually there's a basketball game, in this case it's Thursday, Friday, Sunday, every single time late in the week. And of course, they can't have techs out on Sundays. So then you're cramming to try to get somebody out here on time. I've had the last 2 football games, I've had a tech at my studio, both games during the game, each of the last 2 Iowa football games. So that's what
because they can't figure out what the problem is.
Right. Exactly.
Outside of it, your service sucks.
Yeah.
But anywho.
And I like how people say, well, change your provider. Like, it's just that simple. Like, I just
you don't even have that option. I don't really remember. I only remember MediaCom, honestly speaking.
We do have an Houston now. There is
There is another one? Wow.
Yeah, so
look at Iowa.
REM Properties. It's a good thing we have Layla and Stolke played the 5 a little bit tonight. Houston at the 4. That lineup is nice to have for smaller teams. So we talked about the small ball lineup.
Agreed.
Thank you for being a super chat or a premium member. I don't understand this comment. VGS Hawk, take it easy on Corey's internet guy. It's his second job as he isn't getting paid from his government act job. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm assuming he's kidding or playing or I don't know. But other than the fact of the matter is that you ain't got good internet because
it's a government act job, apparently. Okay. Interesting. All right. Iowa defeating Drake 100-58. Our RTI Threads player of the game tonight, Chastity Chit Chat Right with 14 points, 4 of 9 from 3. Quick trigger from 3-point land. 4 steals, 3 assists, 1 turnover. Any final comments on a guard who stands even a little bit shorter than you did on the Carver court?
A little bit? Oh, you trying me today.
What?
You said a little bit?
How tall are you without shoes?
How tall is Chit Chat?
5'6", maybe?
That's a stretch.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". Okay, yeah, you're definitely bigger than her.
In many ways. But
hey,
either way, I love Chit Chat. She is one of my faves. I love her calmness. I love her. Just everything about her on the basketball court just exudes confidence in regards to her team. Her and Journey are like that. Journey's very steady Eddie. Like I don't see her get rattled, which is crazy as a freshman. She just be out there doing her thing, and that's that. So I am very, very happy with Iowa basketball and the future of Iowa basketball. Like our future looks great. I'm not negating this year. I'm just saying, like our future looks fantastic.
So Peace Love Jen clears this up, and I did just look it up.
Yeah, you're crazy.
She's listed at 5'4", but if she's listed at 5'4", she's probably like 5'2".
She's probably like 5'2", 5'3". No, they don't go too crazy on those people. So usually they're like, 5. She's probably like 5'3", maybe.
Lisa Bluter did bring up during her broadcast tonight how she got posted up one play, and she's like, that could be a problem. She did bring that up, even though she's a point guard.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, there's not many point guards who post people up, but it could be.
Yeah, I think she just got a bad mismatch there, and but yeah, she doesn't have size. Our Big Grove's big play of the day, Taylor McCabe's no-look pass early in the third quarter to extend Iowa's lead to 30, complemented by a three-pointer from Kylie Fierbach. And Kylie finished, what did Kylie finish with numbers-wise tonight, Kachine? We had those final numbers. Let me pull those numbers up because I ran through some of the stats early.
It was a lot of people that were scoring, so I don't.
It was a very, very balanced effort tonight. So
yes, love that.
Let's see, 11 for Hannah, 14 for Hayden, 14 for Chastity Chit Chat Right. McCabe had 6 and 5. How about McCabe's stat line, Kachine? 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover. Kylie Fierbach, 5 points and 4 assists. Layla Hayes, 14 points. Journey Houston with 4. Addie Deal with 5. Tegan Mulaney with a pair.
We have in double figures. 5?
No, but 5 players in double figures. Stolke, Height, Chastity Wright, and let's see, Emily Rodriguez and Stremlow. Nice, oh, no, I'm sorry, 6 plus Layla Hayes.
Nice.
Layla had the only double-double, also finished with 10 rebounds.
Beautiful.
In just 20 minutes. So, and folks, be sure you check out, if you've not done so, be sure you check out rtithreads.com. This is their NIL division. If you've not seen it, check it out now. Visit it after we log off here. And buy your Hawkeye apparel today. We're actually starting there's a new contest up. I don't often get to plug this while we're doing a post-game show. But every week, RTI Threads has been giving away Hawkeye player apparel. And these price packs sometimes worth $50, $100, $200. All you got to do is guess the score of this week's Iowa football game. In this case, it's against USC. Last week was against Oregon, and we announced a winner earlier today on that contest. But go over to my social media, @FromTheHawkeye on Twitter, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram at From the Hawkeye of the Storm on either of those platforms. And you can win these prize packages and also just browse for great apparel, player apparel, NIL, Iowa Hawkeye player apparel. Get set for any season with RTIthreads.com. Again, RTIthreads.com/NIL, and enter the contest by finding my social media at From the Hawkeye on X, From the Hawkeye of the Storm on Twitter, or excuse me, on Instagram and on Facebook. I think that's all she wrote, Kachine. The Hawkeyes will be back on the court this coming Sunday, yet another 2 p.m. Central Time start. This is the third straight game against a Missouri Valley Conference team. Isn't that strange? That's a little scheduling quirk, isn't it?
I don't think they would have scheduled Evansville if Molly wasn't there. So that kind of just is what it is.
You may have seen this on the Big Ten Network those night that Iowa women's basketball, their 2 highest point total results in the history of the program have been against Evansville. The other one was like 4 years ago. They put like 112 on them. So Evansville,
they ain't coming back no more. They ain't coming back no more.
They shouldn't have come back this time. If it wasn't for Molly, they wouldn't have.
Only for Molly.
All right. As Amanda says, rest up, Cash Mama. We appreciate Amanda for being a premium subscriber. REM Properties, BMS. Frank Adamo, thank you. If I missed your name earlier, James Lomansky. I know there's so many people I didn't get to as far as shouting you out. Thank you for being a premium member, and I promise to try to shout you out next time. But we'll be back tomorrow night. Iowa Xavier in Carver-Hawkeye Arena. The Xavier men. Big game tomorrow night.
I gotta watch them. I haven't watched them yet. I gotta watch them.
You got to watch them, and a big game out in Southern Cal on Saturday for the Iowa football team who fell just short against the Ducks last week, but they'll get a chance against the Trojans this Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Central Time, also on BTN. All right, folks, for Kachine Alexander, I'm Corey Bratta from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Get feeling better, Cash. We'll talk to you Sunday.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.